Hey, what is up everybody? I want to welcome you to this video today and welcome to our YouTube channel. If you find this information good, informative, and helpful for you, I encourage you to like this video and subscribe so more people can see it. In this video today, what we're going to actually do is talk about this patient that you're seeing right here in the scan that we have for a early 20s female. And what I want to do with this patient is actually describe and show you some of the things that we see for patients that experience TMJ and TMD, or temporomandibular joint disorder, at a very early age and what that actually looks like. See, most of the time when I take care of patients, they're usually way down the hill, right? 40s, 50s, severe wear, severe TMJ. But we can see it very early on. And so this is a scan of one of those patients. And then what we're going to also do is actually talk about what it is that we're doing for this patient to help eliminate a lot of future problems that she's going to have in a very cost-effective and a very minimally invasive way. So with that being said, guys, I want you to pay attention to the scan as I move it around. I'm going to show some things for you, and I hope you find this informative. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice is that these teeth, when you look at them, actually are functioning very well for her in a lot of capacities. So she's got great tooth structure. She has very minimal issues from a tooth decay standpoint, gum disease standpoint. So those two bases are covered. But one of the things that I saw is canine wear. And I'm going to show you what that actually looks like. And I started to have some discussions with her. And what I found is she actually has clicking in her right TMJ joint and has headaches, has muscle pain. And so we were able to create a custom built plan for her to help take care of some of those things. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you with my little pointer here which tooth I feel is a dead giveaway for TMJ issues when you're younger. Now, when you're looking at this, I don't want you to go in the mirror after you watch this video and say, oh my gosh, I got a little bit of tooth wear. I must have TMJ. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not making a diagnosis for you guys on YouTube. I do encourage you to be aware of some of these things just so you can have great discussions with your dentist about things that you may not even think about that's contributing to headaches, neck pain, joint pain, shoulder pain. I see a lot of things that are actually dental related that patients never even thought it was a dental related issue. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with the scan is actually eliminate the bottom teeth from the scan. Okay, now this gives us an idea of what her teeth look like on the top in isolation. Okay, what you have to understand with teeth is no matter man, woman, any type of race, teeth kind of function the same way and they look very similar. And canine teeth, which are these guys right here, this one and this one, those are your canines. Your canines are typically about 12 millimeters long. Your central incisors are about 12 millimeters long, and then your lateral incisor, which are these guys and this guy, is about 10 millimeters long. And so what ends up happening is there's a certain dimension we're looking for. And when I'm seeing slight signs of wear at 24, what that's telling me is this patient is starting to break down and starting to avoid something. So when I take this scan and I go upwards with it, I want you to pay attention to this left canine. Okay. If you talk to 100 dentists, 99 would say nothing wrong with this. And I would be in that camp if she wasn't experiencing symptoms. But what she's experiencing is signs and symptoms of something more chronic and could be debilitating in her future. And the earlier we catch it, the better. For example, if you have heart disease, usually the end result of heart disease is a heart attack. That's something we want to avoid. And so we can actually see it much earlier. Same thing with joint issues in TMJ. We usually can see it a lot sooner than it becomes a serious issue. And so when I zoom in on this canine, okay, you're going to see that there's a little wear facet right there that's more pronounced than over here. So it's hard to see in a scan, and so I want you guys to understand what it is that I'm looking for when I drop this down and zoom back out. I'm going to try to do this. Okay, so you're seeing that. You'll see this little wear pattern, and basically that canine is flat. Okay. It's flat, like a flat line. In nature, nature doesn't like flat lines. Flat lines are a sign of wear. So if you ever look at an unworn canine, you would see a nice rounded point on that canine tooth. It's one of the reasons why, if you look at like Dracula, for example, he has the big canines that are pointed. Well, big canines that are pointed actually function very well in the mouth, right? So these canine teeth are meant to guide all of the other teeth out of the way when you move side to side. And when you see a worn left canine tooth, that's usually an indication that you're avoiding something on the far back right side of the mouth. Not always, but it's a good indication that something might be going on there. So I'm seeing this and I'm asking this patient, and I actually asked her, I said, out of the joints that are bothering you, and it's funny, I kind of taken it for granted, and she's like, wait, I didn't really talk about that with you. I said, okay, I'm sorry. I can see that you have some canine wear here. My assumption, my guess is that your right jaw joint is bothering you more than your left. She said, absolutely. That's exactly what's happening. I'm seeing it at the tooth level, right? So we can take additional scans and we need to do that, but I can see it at the tooth level ever before I need any type of x-rays. And that's not always the case, but for her it was the case. And the other thing that I noticed with her teeth is now we're going to add the bottom teeth, and what we're going to do is actually eliminate the top teeth, okay? When I look at these bottom teeth, I'm noticing a couple things. You'll notice that these 4 front teeth are worn, okay? They're actually more worn than the canine teeth. There's some chipping, there's some breaking, there's some wear that's happening. And these teeth are very short for a patient her age. So I know something's happening that's causing these teeth to chip. And it's not one tooth that she bit a fork on or something like it. It's 4 teeth in a row that are much shorter than her canine teeth. And when you look at them, you can actually see lines and rings. And so when I bring this up, you can see lines and rings. Okay. If I can see rings on a tooth, that's kind of like when you have a tree, for example, where that tree shows its age by having rings on the tree. When you cut a tree in half. Teeth are the same way in that you can see that as they get older, they start to develop this ring that you see. And that's because there's 2 components to a tooth. There's an outside component, which is called enamel, and there's an inside component that's called dentin. And enamel's hard, and dentin's soft. It's like an M&M. And so when you get through the hard encasing, which is the enamel, and you get to the dentin, it starts to wear faster. So I know something is happening here. I don't know exactly what's causing the wear, but I know there's something to analyze further, and there's something that we need to do, okay? So I can see all of this with a scan, and I was able to talk to this patient about things that I'm seeing, things that we can address. And what I think is so fascinating is we can catch this so early with this detailed scan that it's better than diagnostic models sometimes where I'm looking at them but patients don't understand. I can show that to somebody and they'll see it immediately. Okay? So if you've been watching this far in the video and you are getting value, I encourage you again to hit the like button, subscribe. You'll get more information just like this delivered to you, so that if you are suffering from headaches, neck pain, joint pain, maybe you're a dentist and you're trying to learn how to treat TMJ, you'll start to see some of the things that we're looking for in our TMJ patients. And now I want to get back to like what we're actually doing for this patient. What are we doing to take care of this? Now, sometimes in a case like this, we will do nothing. We don't do anything. She has no symptoms. We're not going to do anything. This patient is actually interested in cosmetic bonding. Okay, so let's start to look at this. She doesn't like the shape of her teeth. She wants to fill in some of these spaces. We talked about Invisalign. We decided against that. I don't think she actually needs Invisalign at this point, but she does need some cosmetic bonding. And so the first thing we're going to do is get these teeth in alignment from a cosmetic bonding standpoint. And then once we do that, it's actually very simple what we're going to do. We design what's called a TMJ orthotic. Now the TMJ orthotic looks it looks like a night guard in some capacities, but the way we adjust it's totally different, right? It's not a typical night guard. We spend one initial adjustment just to get everything kind of balanced and help everything balance itself, get back in harmony where the muscles, joints, and teeth work together. And then in about a month, she actually comes back and we do another adjustment, kind of a fine-tuning adjustment to make sure she's still feeling comfortable. At that point, she can wear that at night, And if these symptoms ever get worse or develop further, we can always transition that appliance to a full-time wear appliance where we can truly figure out how to get the joint stable and the teeth stable and then restore her teeth in a long-lasting fashion. We don't have to do any of that for her right now. And the key is, because we caught it early, we can be very minimal in the way that we approach her TMJ. So I do believe that that is going to be a great course of action for her. We're in the process of finalizing all of that. But I wanted to have this video for you guys so you can actually see that even when the teeth look perfect, right? She's got great teeth. There are some signs and symptoms that we can uncover. Looking at certain teeth, canines are a dead giveaway for TMJ issues. In my experience, what I have seen, you start to have worn canines in their 20s. Usually there's something going on that we can adjust very quickly. So hopefully you got value from this one. Like I said, if you liked this video and you want to get more videos just like this, I encourage you to subscribe. You also can find some details about what we do in our office and how we can best help you. If you have been looking for a dentist to be able to take care of your TMJ issues, I would love for you to reach out to me. We do have patients that are from all over the country, honestly. So we don't discriminate based on state. And if nothing else, we can be able to help you and point you in the right direction so you can get TMJ relief as well. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you at the next video, and take care.